Hello, welcome back to 501st Trooper. Today we're going to be painting some primaris infiltrators. I actually just got them from the store yesterday and pretty excited to paint them. I've already painted the blue coloring on this one model. I'm just gonna add extra details to the gun, the knife, the backpack, the head, and just any other places that need detail. So first we're going to start off with the black coloring, and we're going to use a thicker brush because we're just going to be doing a big old paint on the gun. And since it's mostly black, just a few places of exceptional gray, we're going to just start with the upper parts. The little grip area right there, we're going to paint silver. I don't know why, it just seems like it needs to be painted a different color from the rest. Because then there would be too much black, and that would just kind of be plain and not look as cool. So yeah, we're gonna paint that a black color. I mean a silver. I accidentally just used way too much black on that. So yeah, it's pretty thick right now for painting. And yeah, there you go. You got black on the gun. You can paint this part black to kind of give it some extra paint coverage so that it doesn't chip as easily, which actually I am going to do now that I think about it. But I don't want to do it with a magazine just because. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and paint it black. And there, you've gotten the gun painted black. That's a pretty thick coat of paint right there. Probably wouldn't want to use that much on most models. You're wasting paint. So yeah. But, yeah. Now you are going to paint his belt black. So we're not going to use this big brush because it's smaller and requires a little more attention and a thinner brush. So we're going to use my smaller brush here. I don't know what type of size it is, or anything really about the size or recommendation for it, but I just kind of know that it's a thin brush and it works well, so I use it. So once you got it fully painted up, you're going to paint the little strap around the waist right there. And you might mess up, that's fine. Later on we're going to go through the details and fix it up a little bit more and just, fix everything up that you messed up on. Yeah, so now that you've gotten the base belt color painted, you are going to want to paint the back part of his leggings right there black. You can see that right there. On each side, you're going to want to paint them black with a black coloring. That didn't really make sense, but okay, we're just going to roll with that. So, this leg's bent. Oh, gosh. This leg's bent, so you can't really see what I'm talking about right there. So you're not going to paint that side black if you can't really see it. You could, and you could go through very thinly like that. Add little details like so, and there, boom, it's done. Just got that little extra big detail done. Yay. So now you've gotten this part painted black and all the others. So now you're going to paint the handle of the knife. I like doing that because I find it very satisfying to do, and it's nice to see the finished product. So yes. You might get some on the fingers, but we're going to fix that later on too. There. I've gotten the handle painted and it looks pretty good. You could paint it brown with like a leathery color or like well, really whatever you want it, but I prefer black. So once you've gotten the knife handle done, you have gotta do... No, actually, I'm going to save that part until I work on the head separately. So now you're going to paint the straps on his backpack that connects a plate that holds on to the power pack. It's right there, if you can see it. You're going to want to go in there and paint it black. Right now, we're just painting all the black stuff so that we can get that over with really quickly. I don't really know if you can see that well, but yeah. So once you've gotten that painted black, you're done with pretty much all of the black paintboard. Now you can move on to silver or like any other colorings that you want for the gun. I personally am going to go on to silver, and so yeah, let's go into silver. I'm gonna start back with the gun because it dried the quickest, even though we put a ton of paint on it. So yes, now you're just gonna want to take the black paint and the silver paint, put it over the barrel, the gun. You can paint the little tiny barrels, which I will do too, but I'm just gonna need to get in there a little bit, so it's gonna take a little more attention. It might be a little darker on the barrels for my gun though, because the black coloring is gonna mix in with it, because I put a little too much, and it kind of glowed onto the barrel part of the gun. So yeah, that happened. So now that you've gotten that part painted, you might get the top part a little silver, but we're going to fix that too later on. So now you've gotten the gun, well, now you've gotten most of the gun done. So now you're going to move on to the scope. Now the scope, you're just going to want to paint the silver right on top there, on the edge, and then you're going to put paint on the back too. So I put way too much paint on this front part and the entire gun itself. Ooh, it's messy. So yeah, now you've gotten silver parts done on the gun. Yay! So now you're gonna move on to the knife. For the knife, you're just gonna want to paint the top part silver gray color. Same with the gun. You can use a different one, or you can add like blood or rust. I don't know. I don't really like adding rust to things because I find it kind of hard. Even though you just have to really mix brown, like an orangish, or like a brown, orange, and a little bit of red together. You get a nice little covering there. Coloring the words. So yay! Now you've gotten the knife part done. You can stab his way to victory. Now you're gonna want to take your silver and paint the little belt buckle we covered on earlier. Once you've gotten the belt buckle done, you're almost done through all the silver parts. Okay. You're going to want to take your silver and start to work on the backpack. And the backpack is pretty easy. I'm just going to paint the little top antenna parts silver. And add a little bit of silver to the back areas right there. Really simple, like that. Boom, done. Takes like almost zero effort. Oh. Sorry, my hands are getting in the way. I wish I could use a better camera angle, and I could. It's just that, yeah, I would find it even harder to paint with, so I'm not going to. But now you've gotten the back part, the backpack, the knife, the gun, and the belt all done with silver. You're going to want to paint the head parts, some of the head parts silver, but right now I'm not going to do that because I want to do that when I'm done painting it red. Now this guy does have hair and skin on top of his head, so we're not just going to paint it red. I failed to recognize that earlier. So, yeah, planning is something I'm going to need to work on. Now we're going to work on his shoulder pads. His shoulder pads are pretty easy. You're just going to want to add a gold silver lining around the little edges part that stick up. And that's going to be pretty simple. You're going to want to make sure that you have a pretty thin brush for this, because it's kind of hard, I guess you could say. At least I find it kind of hard. So, yeah. It's going to be a lot of silence and painting. So, I'm working on shoulder pads. I'm thinking you're going to want to think of ideas for, like, any special albums you're going to get them. Like, if you want to paint the shoulder pads, like, his ultramarine sign or anything kind of like that, I guess you could say. Any, like, special details you want to customize them with. Personally, I am not going to do that, though, because, it's just kind of, I don't know, I have a lot of these guys, and I don't want to make every single one of them, like, super special, because, yeah. So, now I'm going to paint, start on the other shoulder pad, and pretty much the same process, just on a different side. Ooh, messed up on that. I am not doing so hot in the second shoulder pad, but guess what? That's okay, because when we go back in with blue, we're just going to kind of follow the edges and fix it, and it'll look 100 times better. Maybe not like 100, that's kind of going over a little bit. But yeah, there you go. You got the shoulder pads done on both sides. Now you're going to want to paint the golden part right there, the little skull piece on his chest. There, now you've gotten the little gold part on his chest done. If you want to, like, do any extra symbols, or you can actually add extra things to it, like, more skull decorations and stuff like that. And I did in a couple of mine, but not all of mine. So most of them are just kind of plain. So once you've gotten the shoulder pads and the other parts of gold done, you're just gonna want to start on other stuff, like the head, which I've kind of been waiting to do this entire time. I have to perfect my head doing skills, like making heads look normal, because I'm not the best at it. Now we get a chance to work on it. I might actually have a white color here, so I might be a little screwed on right now. So yeah, I have to go grab that, which would ruin the video, and I'll have to restart it. But I'm just gonna hope I don't have to. So first, you're gonna start off by painting his little goggle front mask part. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. Yeah. So once you've gotten your silver paint or black, whatever you want to use, you're gonna want to paint his little goggles. And you probably can't really see that too well because my hand's in the way. Sorry. So I'm gonna just rearrange the angle of that. Continue. So you can leave some parts blue. Like I could have gone in there and painted some parts blue on this on his little head goggles and stuff like that, so that it kind of matched with the rest of his body, so it wasn't just clear silver. But I don't really want to do that because, yeah, special. Even though I did say this guy was supposed to be ordinary, I will add like little details to him to kind of differentiate from the rest. So yeah, you're going to just want to paint his front mask a lot of blue. And now you've gotten all that silver. And I said blue, but I messed up on that. I don't know how to talk right now. I don't know why. So, yeah. Now you've gotten that part painted. And you're going to want to take some red. I don't know what type of red it is. I could read the label, but it's covered in paint already, so I'm not going to. So now you've gotten your little tiny bit of red on there. And you're going to want to just kind of, paint this little goggle part on the inside, kind of like it has a red vision area. I'm going to tip this over a little bit so that I can actually work on it better. I'm sorry about this, but I can. There. Now you've gotten the red part on his goggles done. I'm also going to add a little bit of red to his side thing right there, so that he has two little tiny red camera things. Okay, sorry, that was a lot of silence right there. I just got kind of caught up on my show I have running right now. My bad, but now you're going to want to paint his head. Now, as I said, I might not have a white, so it might not be bad. But, I mean, I could make a black space marine. That'd be fine, actually. We're going to do that. Crap, this thing is moving it. Okay, there we go. That's a nice brown there. It's a Decro Art acrylic paint, brown, burnt cyan color. It's brown, let's just say that. And we're going to go ahead and paint his head that. So once again, I'm going to be flipping it over a little bit so that I can paint his head. Now, one thing about this though is that this doesn't really mix well with the red, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. The Space Marine. So yeah. Now you have gotten most of the bit. Oh crap, I got it on his little head thing there. I'll just have to fix that later. Now you've gotten his head done. Yay. Now you can paint his hair, which I'm just going to paint black. Because black hair, but no. It's the simplest hair color I can think of besides blonde or brown. Okay, yay. Now you've gotten his head painted. Now, I said earlier it doesn't matter about the red thing, but I'm going to change it to a blue because seriously, I just find it looking quite odd. So I'm going to change it to a blue. So yeah. He's blue team like Master Chief. Yeah. Now you've gotten his silver head part done. Yay, you're done that part. So now we're going to move on to the fixing details phase. Yay, now you can have your figure completed now. Well, not completed, but like, I'm just going to start, completing. So first we're going to start off with the gun, because that's what, it just seems right. Since I got a little bit of silver on the top part, we're just going to go over that with some black, reinforce it. This is also kind of the time that you could do more layers of the blue colors, but that's kind of something that you do earlier on, I guess you could say. And this is like small details like the gun, you would do that later on after it's dried. But like things like the entire blue coloring of his uniform or armor, you'd probably do that a little earlier. And so yeah, now we've gotten the black parts on his gun fixed, which is pretty good. Now we're going to move on to his hand. Because on the handle, there is a little bit of red, and I do not know how that got there. Probably just, accidentally spilled it when I was taking over the red on the other part. Okay, so now we've done that. Now we're going to look at his belt. His belt. This part we're going to need to change the coloring to blue. So I'm going to change it back to blue. We're also going to work on the shoulder pads after this because we're going to have to fix the shoulder pads up with blue too. So now I'm going to take and look around the waist and just kind of fix all the areas that have black on them that don't need black. Or any areas that when being painted, the blue part just somehow got missed. I don't know. Space and aliens. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. I messed up. So now that I've gotten the largest amount of blue paint on my brush ever, I'm going to go ahead and absolutely cover them, all the messed up areas in the shoulder pad with blue. If only I knew how to do video editing, I can make it so a before and after of the gold tint and blue tint fixing. I use that wording incorrectly. That doesn't matter though to me. English isn't really my best subject, but yeah. So yay, I've gotten that part down. Now you're going to go over his little blue parts on the mask over so that it's a little more shiny. And yeah, now you've gotten all the blue parts fixed on his leggings. Yay, good accomplishments. So yay, now I'm pretty sure you can call that a day. Now, I'm not the best painter. This isn't going to be like Midwinter Minis or Midwinter Mini X stuff right here. It's just going to be, it's a Space Marine. And as one guy said, sure, it's a crappy Space Marine, but it's my crappy Space Marine. And I might get sued for copyright, but who cares? I'm not that big enough to where it really matters. So yeah, that's how you paint a primaris infiltrator, like how I do. And yeah, I'm sorry he's pretty good. It's not my best paint job, but it's pretty good compared to my old ones. Not the best. But I also painted 3 others, which I'm going to show. I think they look pretty good too, but I wouldn't really know. It's your standard opinion. They might be like the best painter out there. But primaris infiltrators. And this box is around $60, so if you wanted this, you have to pay a pretty big price. But yeah, I'd say it's worth it for building a Space Marine army. You could just get a box of normal guys for like $50 online, but yeah. So anyway, that's primaris infiltrators for you. see you later. Bye. I might record more stop motion videos. I don't know.